saying. Devi Parashakti herself had revealed that the number of deaths, the death toll in India would be extremely high, especially in April, May of 2021. She had warned each and every one of the Hindus and all of those in India to ensure that they are staying safe. And right after that, we saw exactly that happening. So in every way, Devi Parashakti has revealed such sacred, profound revelations. In this next segment, we're going to be going into one of these profound revelations, breaking it down and giving the higher understanding to each and every one of you of what Devi Parashakti is meaning. So now let us watch this video on the sacred secret of Hindu birth, the revelation to the world by Devi Parashakti, given on the 31st of May 2021.
நன்றாய் கேட்டுக்கொள், உன் கேள்விக்கு உன்மூலமாய் உலகெங்கும் இருக்கும் இந்துக்கள் எல்லோர்க்கும் அளிக்கின்றேன் உத்திரம். கேட்டு வாழ்ந்தால் உங்கள் வாழ்க்கை பத்திரம். நன்றாய் கேளுங்கள். பிறப்பின் ரகசியத்தை பிறப்பிலா பெருமை உடைய பரமேஸ்வரி சொல்லுகின்றேன் கேளுங்கள். அண்டஜம், யோனிஜம், ஜலஜம், பீஜம் எனும் 4 விதமான பிறவிகளில் 84,000 யோனிகளில் பிறக்கும் பிறப்புகளிலேயே பெருமை வாய்ந்ததும் உத்தமமானதும் மனித பிறவி. அந்த மனித பிறவியிலும் பலமுறை பிறந்து உழன்று அரசியல், பொருளாதாரம், சுகபோகம், தர்மம், அர்த்தம், காமம் எனும் ஆசைகள், துக்கங்கள், அச்சங்கள் அனைத்திலும் அழன்று உழன்று இனி வேண்டாம் இப்பிறவி, வேண்டுவது மோட்சமே என்று முடிவெடுத்தோர்க்கு மட்டுமே ஹிந்து மத யோனிஜம், ஹிந்து பெற்றோர்க்கு பிறந்திடும் சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம யோனிஜம், மனித பிறவி உத்தமம், சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம மனித பிறவி உத்தமோத்தமம். இந்த உத்தமோத்தம பிறவி எடுத்த எல்லோருக்கும் ஜீவன் முக்த விஞ்ஞானத்தையும் சனாதன தர்மத்தையும் காக்கின்ற கடமையும் உண்டு. அதனால் வருகின்ற நன்மையெல்லாம் அனுபவிக்கும் உரிமையும் உண்டு. இந்த கடமையை செய்வோம் என்று சத்தியம் செய்ததனால் தான் அந்த உரிமை அளிக்கப்பட்டது. பூமிக்கு வந்தபின் மனம் மயங்கி மதிமயங்கி சனாதன தர்மம் காக்க மறந்ததனால் மாயை அவர்கள் உயிரை பறிக்கின்றாள். நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உயிரை கொடுத்தாலும் தர்மத்தை காப்போம் என்று உறுதி எடுத்தவர்க்கே சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம யோனிஜம் அளிக்கின்றேன் யான். உடல் பெற்ற பிறகு ஊழி பெருவலியால் ஆசை அச்சங்களை உதறவிடாது, உதறியும் விடாது சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்மம் காக்க மறந்தோரை உயிர் வாழ தகுதியில்லாதவர் பட்டியலில் உடனடியாய் மாயை சேர்க்கின்றாள். அதனால் ராட்சசர்களும் அசுரர்களும் தானாகவே இவர்கள் உயிரை எடுக்கின்றார். நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உயிரை கொடுத்தாலும் தர்மம் காப்போம் என்று நிற்பவர்க்கு நிலைத்திடும் வீரஸ்வர்க்கமும் கைலாச பதவியும் எக்காரணம் கொண்டும் தர்மம் காக்க மறந்த உத்தமோத்தம ஜனனமான சனாதன ஹிந்து ஜனனம் பெற்ற மக்களுக்கு இல்லை வேறு கதி. சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம மனித ஜனனம் உத்தமோத்தம மனித ஜனனம். உங்கள் உரிமை உலகில் அதிகம், உங்களுக்கு கடமையும் உலகில் பெரிது. தர்மம் காத்தாலே கடமை, தர்மம் காக்காதார்க்கு உயிர் வாழும் உரிமை இல்லை. நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உத்தமோத்தம பிறவியான சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம பிறவி எடுத்த எல்லோரும் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உங்கள் வாழ்வின் முதற்கடமை தர்மம் காத்தல். தர்மம் காக்க தர்மம் உங்களை காக்கும். சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்மம் காக்க மறந்திட்டால் வாழும் உரிமையை நீங்கள் இழந்து விடுகின்றீர்கள். அதற்கு மேல் வாழ்ந்தென்ன அழிந்தென்ன? பூமிக்கு பாரம் குறையட்டும் என்று அசுரர்களும் ராட்சதர்களும் உங்களை உண்டு தீர்க்கின்றார்கள். அதையும் மாயை கண்டு சும்மாவிருப்பாள். பிரபஞ்ச ரகசியத்தை, பிறவியின் ரகசியத்தை உலகிற்கெல்லாம் உத்தரமாய் சொல்லிவிட்டேன். புரிந்து வாழ்வில் நடந்து உயிரை பத்திரமாய் பார்த்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள். அன்னை சொல்லும் அருள் சத்தியம் இது. ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
In this, Devi Parashakti gave a ferocious response, answer. Though it is ferocious, it is a huge warning for Hindus across the world. Let's now understand Devi's words mapped in the English language. Devi Parashakti said, listen, Andhajam, Yonijam, Jalajam, Bij, like this in 4 types of births in 840,000 yonis. Human birth has happened. And even in that human birth, born and toiled many times after getting burned and toiled. Those who do not decide of not wanting this birth and wanting only moksha, only those will have Hindu Dharma Yonijam, the Sanatana Hindu Dharma Yonijam of being born to Hindu parents. The human birth is Uttama, or the best, and Sanatana Hindu Dharma human birth is Uttamotta, the best of the best. Everyone who took this Uttamottama birth has a responsibility of protecting the science of living enlightenment and Sanatana Dharma. And also they have the right Devi continues, after coming to Bhuloka by getting mentally deluded and forgetting the dharma of protecting Sanatana Dharma, Maya, she is taking away all of their soul. Understand carefully, I'm giving the Sanatana Hindu Dharma Yonijam only to those who gave the commitment of protecting Sanatana Dharma, even by giving their life. After getting the body because of the painful deluge, not dropping the fear and greed for those who forgot to protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma, Maya, she will immediately. Therefore, Rakshasas and Asuras are automatically taking away their life. Understand properly, for those who stand that even by giving their life, they will protect Dharma, will permanently have Veera Swarga and Kailasa Padavi. For any reason, people who forget to protect the Dharma, having the Uttamottama birth of Sanatana Hindu Dharma birth, there is no other way for them. Sanatana Hindu Dharma human birth is Uttamottama human birth. Your rights in this world are immense, and also your responsibility is large. Protecting Dharma is responsibility. Those who do not protect Dharma, they do not have the right to live. Understand properly. All those who took the Uttamottama birth with Sanatana Hindu Dharma birth, all of you understand. Devi now is speaking to us directly. The first responsibility of your life is protecting Dharma. If you protect Dharma, Dharma will protect you. If you forget to protect Hindu Dharma, you will lose the right of living. And after that, what bothers, whether you're alive or you get destroyed? Asuras and Rakshasas will eat you so that the burden on earth is reduced. And seeing that Maya, she will keep quiet. This profound revelation from Devi Parashakti is reminding each and every one of us Hindus is the most compassionate response to each and every one of us who are responsible. Hinduism represents the world's most ancient yet progressive indigenous spiritual tradition. It is an open framework model of civilization that stands for global peace, vegetarianism, non-violence, yoga, the worship of nature, and temple-based living. The Hindu nations were ecosystems where more and more enlightened beings were produced so that enlightened civilization would be kept alive and its great gifts shared with the world. And there's so many references of the greatness of the Hindu nations in Hindu scriptures, how they lived so exuberantly, but non-violently. They lived with great riches, but they did not harm another being. The most apt representation of living by the cosmic law. A Hindu nation ruled by Bhagavan Rama, or the Rama Raja, was one of these examples. There were, in the Valmiki Ramayana, it was described that there was no widows to lament, nor were there any danger from wild animals, nor any fear of born diseases. The world was bereft of thieves and robberies. No one felt worthless, nor did old people perform obsequies concerning youngsters. Every creature felt pleased. Everyone was intent on virtue and turning their eyes towards Rama alone. People survived for thousands of years with thousands of their progeny, all free of illness and grief. The trees were bearing flowers and fruits regularly, without any injury by pests and insects. The clouds were raining in time, and the wind was delightful to touch. Devas granted rains to fulfill all wants. The world became free of disease. There was no hunger or thirst anywhere. There was no mental suffering. Those who lived without livelihood were given livelihood. There was abundance all around. And there was no worldly desires or worldly worries left for anyone. There was no cause to fear either. Happiness on earth was, in fact, even greater than in the heavens. And Hindu nations had and has so much to contribute to the world in every field, including, of course, enlightenment and health, medicine, art, science and technology, aviation, dance and music, clothes and jewelry, the social system, the judicial system, the political system, and the legal system. Now, today, however, Hindus ourselves are forgetting the amount of contribution that we have done to the world and not taking our Hindu heritage for granted. In light of Hindu Heritage Month, as we are going on right now, we wanted to take a few minutes to remember how Hinduism was destroyed and what Hinduism needs now. What is the needs of the Hindu heritage, so we can protect it further. So let's begin by understanding the destruction of the Hindu civilization. Phase one was the Islamic invasions. Will Durant had said in the story of civilization that the Mohammedan conquest of India is probably the bloodiest story in history. The Islamic historians and scholars have recorded with great glee and pride the slaughters of Hindus, forced conversions, abductions, and so much more. And in another reference, Abdullah Wasaf was writing about how one of the legal advisors was telling Aladdin Khilji that Hindus are like mud. If silver is demanded for them, they must, with the greatest humility, offer gold. If a Mohammedan desires to spit into a Hindu's mouth, he should open his mouth wide for the purpose. God created Hindus to be slaves of Mohammedans. This is exactly what the legal advisors would tell Khilji in order to execute this as a part of his entire empire. In 1456, Kanhadade Prabhanda was saying that the conquering armies burnt villages, devastated the land, plundered people's wealth, and so much more. In total, the Islamic invasions had slaughtered more than 200 million Hindus, with 100,000 temples destroyed and 1 million deities and sculptures destroyed. In phase two, we come to the British occupation, which happened from 1700 to 1947 AD. And this is the economic and psychological destruction of Hindu civilization. Again, Will Durant has said that I have seen a great people starving to death before my eyes. I'm convinced that this exhaustion and starvation are due not, as their beneficiaries claim, to overpopulation and superstition, but to the most sordid and criminal exploitation of one ethnicity over another. The British occupation had used all possible means to destroy the Hindu civil and cultural institutions. And they did so using discriminatory laws. They engineered famines. They annexed Hindu kingdoms to undermine their native rule. They mistranslated Hindu scriptures. They destroyed indigenous Gurukul education system, and they destroyed the local industries and forced importation of British goods. In total, the British occupation had looted $45 trillion from India, and the Hindus who died due to the famines and poverty imposed by British policies is 45 million Hindus, just over the course of a few years. And finally, there were 680 native kingdoms usurped by the British Raj. Shashi Tharoor, one of the members of the Indian Parliament, has said that the British came to one of the richest countries in the world. Over 200 years of exploitation, looting, and destruction reduced it to a poster child of third world poverty. Today, when you see India, you only remember how many rape stories come out in the news. You see how much of poverty is there and how people are living in slums. This is what we have been reduced to. And the crime is that it is still continuing. Even after the 1947, when the British had left India, if the phase three started, secular India, where there was still the British attitudes towards policies and towards Hindus. It was in 1947 that Nehru, from the prison diaries, had said that India can never become a Hindu republic. At this time, we're not protecting Hinduism at a time where the whole nation was being built. And B.R. Ambedkar, India's first law minister, had said that if a Hindu Raj does become fact, it will no doubt be the greatest calamity for this country. No matter what the Hindus say, Hinduism is a menace to liberty, equality, and fraternity. It is incompatible with democracy. Hindu Raj must be prevented at any cost. And the irony is that here they're saying it is incompatible with democracy when Hinduism is the source of democracy itself and has records of democratic elections, democratic discussion and debate for thousands of years before even the Roman and Greek empires. The truth is that even upon building the nation which was supposed to be or supposedly for Hindus, still then, so many leaders were opposing the Hindu nation to be made, and thus India became secular. The modern Indian legal system today, the academia and the media all systematically undermine and suppress to legitimize the Hindu institutions and culture. India's constitution established governmental control and taxation over Hindu temples and schools, and Articles 26 to 30 of India's special rights and benefits to non-Hindus had literally been able to disable the rights of Hindus. Hindu kingdoms and self-governance was absolutely abolished. Anti-superstition laws were passed to criminalize the Hindu practices, and including the 1857 Criminal Tribes Act, which told that all people who were the sannyasis and all the lineages who were outside of the government, who were outside of society, were instantly viewed as criminals. And not only that, today, Bollywood and other mainstream media outlets consistently portray Hindu gods and gurus as cartoonish, dishonest, corrupt, and sex fiends in a manner similar to British imperial propaganda. Media narratives are used to shape human consciousness and further political agendas. Racist British colonial stereotypes portraying Hindus as superstitious, backwards, and dishonest are perpetuated by the Brown British successors in modern-day India. And we're seeing this even until today. So many anti-Hindu narratives, so much going on in the media, in TV shows, in movies, and it's not just in India, but spreading to other countries. And of course, we're seeing how in most nations, there's the dying population of Hindus. Hindus, even in India, are not even safe. It's at this time that we need to address the needs of Hinduism. Today, Hinduism is a political orphan. There's no political legitimacy for Hinduism, and there's no country, no land where Hindu law is practiced as a law of the land, where the cosmic law is practiced as a law of the land. It is at this time that each and every one of us Hindus needs to see the necessity of the revival of Hindu nations. And now we're just going to be seeing the necessity of the Hindu nations. Why do we need a Hindu nation? The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself has declared the vision for the Hindu civilization. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism said, during the time of Mahabharata, we Hindus had 56 deshas, 200 states, and 1,700 samsthanas, and 10,000 sampradayas. In all 56, we are persecuted today. Now we have lost all 56, and the last one to fall was Nepal. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says, I am the collective voice of all the persecuted Hindus, and I will revive Kailasa. This revival of Kailasa, the Hindu nation, is for reviving this whole life of enlightened civilization and all the great things it has to offer to the world, bringing legitimacy to all the offerings, Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and sharing it with the whole world is the purpose of Kailasa, the Hindu nation. And the administration of Kailasa is the revival of the cosmic constitution. Kailasa is the model nation of how an enlightened civilization should be living and administered. Politics, judiciary, education, economy, and everything will be revived as Paramashivoham revealed in the Vedagamic Sanatana Hindu Dharma scriptures. And that is the uniqueness of Kailasa, which is a place where Hinduism is protected and Hindu heritage is protected. Right now, you can even share, as Hindu Heritage Month is happening right now, it is extremely important that we are getting this message across to as many people across the world. That right now, in order to protect Hindu nation, what we need, in order to protect the Hindu heritage, our knowledge systems, our education systems, the huge amount of knowledge and amount we have contributed to the world, we need a Hindu nation. Again, Hinduism is a political orphan, and this preservation and restoration of Hinduism's spiritual and cultural heritage is impossible without a national identity. And each and every one of us Hindus needs to understand how this has happened over the last 5,000 years and how we need to save Hinduism now if we want, if we are even dreaming of, or even our next future generation, the next generation after us, to be able to enjoy what we have enjoyed from Hinduism. We must reclaim our Hindu identity. And right now, you can go ahead and tweet this, you can share on social media if you're feeling inspired, if you understand that this is a need right now. If we want to protect our Hindu heritage, we must reclaim our Hindu identity. And that is the foremost need in order to protect Hindu heritage. And as we are in Hindu Heritage Month right now, each and every one of us should spend this month in order to share as much as possible, in order to do as much as possible to revive and become responsible for Hinduism. If today you are healthy, wealthy, rich, successful, and peaceful, if you are living a happy and respectable life, if you have a stable family and have the best mental health, you have to understand that it is because Hinduism has given us this. It is the Hindu scriptures which have gave us the best mental setup. All the best things that we enjoy in Sanatana Hindu Dharma is because we are Hindus. Hindus are the richest and most successful ethnic community in the world. And Hindu scriptures, Hindu lifestyle, our enlightened masters are responsible for this. Hindu thought currents are responsible for this. And as inheritors of this greatest heritage, we have to be responsible for the future generation also being able to enjoy it like we did. Just as, and I myself personally, having enjoyed the best of both worlds, best of the infrastructure and as well as the best of the inner world, know that it is a responsibility that we each have to take in order to make sure that we are doing as much as possible to protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma and ensure that the future generation is able to enjoy this as much as we have. Not just anti-Hindu elements being active today, but it is responsible Hindus being inactive that is responsible for the destruction of Hinduism. Each and every one of us Hindus, all of you who are watching, the 2 billion Hindus across the world, if we understand the responsibility that we have over the world, then we can create so much of goodness in the world. We can make the world a better place to live. The greatest issue that the world is facing right now is climate change. And in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, there are so many solutions which can be implemented to simply reverse what is happening. And not just climate change. According to the WHO, globally, more than 264 million people of all ages are suffering right now from depression. According to the WHO, again, close to 800,000 people die due to suicide every year. And if you don't know what that means, quite honestly, that is every 40 seconds, people dying just from suicide. This is something that can be prevented. And Hindus have the greatest science in order to prevent this from happening. This is an invitation to all Hindus, born Hindus, practicing Hindus, sympathetic Hindus, curious towards Hinduism if you are, or wanting to explore more about Hinduism and enjoying Hinduism. Become a part of this revival today. You can become a part immediately by being an e-citizen of Kailasa. Register now for your e-passport and you'll be able to just enter into another world of Kailasa and its contributions. You'll be able to become a part of this revival. You can also become a part of this revival and offer your time, talent, and treasure to Kailasa and to the mission of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. If you're interested right now, you can even make a donation at your own comfort level on the YouTube Super Chat. Many of you are joining us from YouTube, and you can become a member of our YouTube channel enjoy the benefits of becoming a member of a YouTube channel. As a premium member, you'll be able to get all of the notifications and ensure that you are a part of all of the live events and darshans of Swamiji. You'll be able to send chat messages and send your questions and any your concerns and interact directly during the Bhava Samadhi darshans and the Nityananda satsangs. And there's so many more benefits that are available. But right now, other than Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is describing exactly this. Yes, we'll be playing this video in just a few minutes. Let's take a few minutes right now. So far in this entire segment, we've been seeing phase by phase of each and every one of the destructions to Hinduism, and we've understood the need for Hinduism, right? So now let us see the video where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is explaining why we need Kailasa.
Contribution. Hinduism, Veda Agamas have great things to contribute to the world. Like the great power manifestation science, the ancient culture and arts, the ancient lifestyle truths, the ancient medical practices and medicinal knowledge, the ancient indigenous cultural heritage and jewelry, perfume, dance, music, in every level, Hinduism has so much to contribute. Veda Agamic traditions have so much to contribute. To share all this with the world, to contribute to the world. Hindus need to tell the world what they are contributing in every level. The brand of Hinduism itself is enriching and empowering and enlightening. Hinduism is all about enlightening the world. Empowering, enlightening, enriching the world. Contributing. That is our spiritual life. That is our spiritual strength. That is our spiritual core principle. O humanity, I request you with folded hands, some one corner of the world, if you just give me few hundred acres, I will keep this whole science alive. Leave it for the whole humanity freely. Fortunately, Paramashiva has given me the power to decode all this Hindu medicinal system, Hindu judiciary system, Hindu social law and order system, Hindu power manifestation system, Hindu mental sciences system, Hindu yogic sciences, the sciences of Hindu biology, Hindu physics, Hindu psychology, Hindu physiology, Hindu chemistry, all this, Paramashiva has given me the power to decode. Whatever the remaining scriptures are available with the humanity, Paramashiva has blessed me, and I have collected. Not only I have collected and organized, I can decode. This whole science can be kept alive in any one corner of the world. Just few hundred acres are given for me to live peacefully and exist peacefully. I can store this whole thing alive and contribute it to humanity. Humanity can become better and better and better. I can make the planet Earth so much better place to live. I am here to contribute, and I will continue to contribute. As long as I am allowed to live, I will contribute. I have collected all the remaining available scriptures, maybe 2 crore books. 2 crore means 20 million, I think, books on Hindu physics, Hindu chemistry, Hindu biology, Hindu physiology, Hindu psychology, Hindu law and order, Hindu social system, the power manifestation sciences of Hinduism, yogic sciences of Hinduism. I have collected, and Paramashiva has given me the blessings and power to decode. I have decoded and continuing to decode them. If the humanity, somebody is kind enough to give me few hundred acres in one corner of the world and let me live peacefully, I can keep all these scriptures there and go on sharing with the world, revealing this whole sciences to the world, and go on contributing. I don't need anything other than one cup of curd rice every day. That's all. A cup of curd rice per day, over. I can go on be giving this to the world. I can add to the world. I can make the world a better place to live. That's all I have to say. Thousands of medicines are described detail in ancient Siddha and Ayurvedic scriptures. Paramashiva has given me the power to decode them, read them, and properly translate and map them to the modern day human language. And I am ready to work 20 hours a day. I just need few hundred acres where I can sit peacefully and keep this library, run a Gurukul where thousands of people can learn this and share it with the world. Understand? I am only interested in contributing. If we can decode all this great knowledge, whole world can prosper from this knowledge. whole world can enjoy from this knowledge. If I prosper, I will only create a university. I will not create anything else. If the Hindus prosper, they will only create education institutions. Because Hinduism is all about giving, contributing. If I prosper, I'll create university, that's all. Kailasa is all about university, to decode the ancient sciences and share with the world. Understand? Every day I am sitting and going on decoding, writing notes on my books and writing details on my books. Whether it is making human beings manifest powers, and I have also now started downloading and decoding the science of making animals manifest powers. Whether making people manifest powers or healing, in every level, life is all about contribution, contribution, contribution.
So unmute. Yes. Now, if you are understanding the need from right now for Kailasa, I invite each and every one of you to become a part of the revival. Right now, you can register for your e-passport and register to become an e-citizen of Kailasa. Become a part of this grand nation. And you can like, follow, subscribe in all the different social media platforms. And ensure that you're getting the live notifications for all the events that are happening in Kailasa. And as well, I invite you right now, if you want to become a part of the revival and you feel that whatever you do will be going towards something absolutely extraordinary, something good for the world, where Swamiji is making the world a better place to live. You can right now on the YouTube Super Chat donate any amount that you wish to. This is an e-Hundi donation, a Hindu donation where you're just donating, you're becoming a part of this huge revival that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is doing. I invite you, each and every one of you, to get involved in some way. And it's not just what is needed right now, but as soon as you decide to become part of the most exciting, most inspiring way to live, a way that is living your highest ambition, your highest method of living. So now we'll be moving on and understanding also some of the heartfelt sharings of the different devotees who have had the blessings, the grace of Devi Parashakti over the course of the last few months, and who have come forward and shared to the public about how they have had a life's transformation just through this, how they've been able to see a new way of living, newfound inspiration of life. So now we'll be hearing these sharings one by one and being introduced to some of the devotees worldwide, the voice of millions of people who have had a similar transformation in their lives. And we've heard so many miraculous stories, backaches being completely healed. I myself have heard and interviewed a woman who is not able to sit down comfortably for 30 years. And suddenly, after having the grace of Devi Parashakti, having her healing, she was able to sit, and now she's functioning absolutely in a healthy body, as if she's 16 years old. And not only this, I've heard of people who have been able to get jobs in this really stressful economic climate, who just with the blessings of Devi Parashakti, are people who've been able to manifest wealth in their lives in just with so much of grace, manifesting this spiritually. And there's so many of these different kinds of stories, people who are outpouring their gratitude to Devi Parashakti. Let's now watch a few of those beautiful sharings and see for ourselves, listen for ourselves of the stories of millions of people.
So joining with us today, we have Manitya Shivananda, who has been with Swamiji for a very long time, because actually since the time she's one of the blessed beings who got to witness the Leelas of how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism worked one at a time, and built Kailasa from the scratch. And she is one of those blessed beings who got to be there, live around Swamiji, personally see the hard work that Swamiji put in, personally first-hand experience of witnessing all the Leelas, all the hard work and everything Swamiji put in, all the tyaga, the sacrifices that Swamiji put in to build Kailasa. And she is the Mahant of Kailasa in Ohio. And she's here joining with us today to share her experience of Devi Parashakti's Akashic reading and her experience with Swamiji. Nithyanandamma.
Nithyanandamma, am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, you are. And would you like to start with introducing your name, where you're from, and also how long you know Swamiji for?
Yes, Ma, it's a pleasure to be here sharing with you all. I've known Swamiji from 2004, and it's not a long time for me. It's like a lifetime, you know. So such a pleasure journey, and it's practically experiencing the living enlightenment. That's how I feel. And he takes you through all steps. I know where I started from and where I am now. And practically every step